Hey, here we are, day number 310 in our Route 66 journey through the Bible. We're getting moving right along here, getting near the end of the Gospels. And so we have two chapters today, John chapter 7 and 8, looking at the life of Jesus with his most intimate followers. So, John chapter 7, we find that there's a division over Jesus. And don't you discover that truth always divides? People are divided, especially when it comes to Jesus. You can talk about just about anything, but you get into what they say politics and religion, everybody's got opinion. But you get into Jesus, and that can be even more difficult. But during the Feast of the Tabernacles, Jesus teaches publicly in the temple, and people are divided. Some believe that he's the Messiah, and others think he's a deceiver and is just deceiving everybody. And Jesus declares that his teachings come from God, and he offers living waters, the same story that he told the woman at the well. He offers living water to anybody who believes. The religious leaders try to arrest him, but it's not his time, so God's not going to let him get arrested. And then in John chapter 8, Jesus, the light of the world. Jesus forgives a woman who is caught in adultery. I love that story because it shows the compassion and care that Jesus gives the worst of sinners, exposing the hypocrisy of the accusers. It's easy to accuse other people, but I often find that those who accuse are guilty of some of the same crimes. He proclaims, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness." Just like when we, in the middle of the night, when we get up and we turn on a flashlight to see where we're going, we can see our way. When we have Jesus, the light of the world, in a dark world, we can get around a lot better. He confronts the Pharisees about their unbelief, declaring that he existed before Abraham, because he said, "Before Abraham was, I am." And that was a key word, because if you recall back in Exodus, when Moses said, "Who am I going to say sent me?" God said, "Tell them I am." In other words, my name is I am. And when Jesus said, "I am," they go, "Oh, no, you're not." But he was. And Jesus recognized and knew and proclaimed that he was God. So some lessons from some of these chapters 7 and 8. Jesus brings truth, and that demands a response. You believe it or you reject it. Now, some people haven't gotten the message of Jesus, so they haven't done either one. But when you hear about Jesus, you either got to accept him and believe him, or reject him and not believe him. You can't straddle the fence. You can't go in between. If you don't accept him, you've rejected him. A second lesson: grace never excuses sin, but it leads us out of darkness. That's what God does. God leads us, Jesus leads us out of the darkness. Sin is dark. This woman caught in adultery, she was doing the wrong thing. But Jesus not only brought the light that exposed her sinfulness and the sinfulness of the accusers, that light also brought grace and pushed her into a new direction where he said, "Go and sin no more." So that's a wonderful thing. Grace forgives, and grace puts us in a new path. And a third lesson: when we walk with Jesus, we live in freedom. When we walk with Jesus, we live in freedom. Jesus didn't fear anybody. He was on course to do what his Father said, and nobody could turn him away. And when we walk with Jesus, we know that he's going to protect us and take care of us and go with us. And nobody can do anything to us without his divine permission. So be confident in your